Hello y'all, I am back again for another video. And as a disclaimer, this video is not meant to offend anyone. However, when I watch the news, fortunately I have a place now to vent that's therapeutic for me on this channel. So this video will be discussing race issues. So if you feel uncomfortable with that, just tune out of this video, because I don't want to lose you as a subscriber or viewer because you get offended. However, for all of y'all that regularly watch my videos, you know that I am one that would prefer to problem solve, not just repeat the same cycle over and over. However, let's problem solve here. Okay, so there's a property manager that a European American, or what the United States would call white lady. She's a property manager, and she assaulted two black kids at the swimming pool. I will put the video under my world news, and start checking my description below, because I will be putting the link there so you can watch the video yourself. However, this is my reaction to that case. So what I like to do is just be honest. Let's just be honest, y'all. Culturally honest regarding a lot of issues that surround white women, especially, and black children. So, and a lot of times we kind of forget this, right? We It's not that we forget about slavery. We just don't point out the little details of it. If you learn the details of our history, it will help us all do better. For African Americans or indigenous people, like I said in my other video that I'm gonna upload, if I haven't uploaded it yet, I explained that I'm going to refer to black people as indigenous. And I went over that in the other video of why I'm choosing to do it that way. So this is the thing. Being raised in black culture, and as a disclaimer, if you ain't doing this, or if you are doing this, I want to help you with a better parenting style. That's what my goal is, to improve parenting style. In the United States alone, we're one of the top countries for missing children. Black and white kids go missing very, very often. More of the white kids' cases are more investigated. More of them are found if they're alive than black kids. We already know the discriminatory system in the United States policing and investigation system. We already know why that's happening. I don't even need to go into that. We live in a racist ass country. However, I watch these cases quite often. I have a playlist of the mother of four gone. Ajiki Owens, or Jike Owens, however you pronounce her name, they call her AJ Owens. She's the mother of four that was murdered. And that's just a horrible case. I mean, she seemed to be the type of mom that usually watched her kids. I think if you're sitting right in front of your front door and there's a park, like you can see the park, you're looking at your child, I think you should be able to sit there and watch your child without some racist white lady abusing your kids. So that's a separate case. And that mom, I think, had I think she watched her kids most of the time. She seemed to be kind of hands-on. She was available when her son came back and say that the white lady hit him with the tablet, hit him in the head or wherever he was hit. And the white lady said, go get your mom. Unfortunately, he went and got his mom, and his mom was shot from the inside of the white lady's door. I did another video about that, expressing my opinion about that. However, I don't know all of the details in that case about the mom and how often she watched her kids, but it seemed like her kids were in daycare, school, after school activities. It seemed like there was a lot of supervision with that mom. However, in this case that I'm talking about now with the white lady that was a property manager assaulting the two kids, basically she was dumping soda pop on one. The black boy that was he's 11 years old. So okay, so up here where I am on the West Coast, I just want to point this out. Any white property manager that's a property manager where we live would never do such a thing to myself or my sons or anyone in my family. I mean, our property manager is actually what you call a professional white lady, okay? And when I say a professional white lady, she's not a nut, right? First of all, there's rules. Like if your children are under 18, you can't even be at the pool without parents. So see, that protects a lot of stuff. I remember one time a man told me, he said, you gotta protect the criminal from themselves. So just having certain rules and guidelines in place really will protect a lot of people from a lot of things. It just will, like, but I want to get into the cultural things, okay? And I'm just going to be blunt. And like I said, this is not meant to hurt anyone, but what can we do to fix it? Okay, we know white women, and it's oftentimes white women. Like it's it seems like, you know, we know the police shoot black people in America, and I'll use these labels black and white so you'll know what I'm speaking of, even though I don't really prefer to use the labels, but in this case I will. We know that a lot of times police officers will do crude things to black people and things like that. However, I want to focus on the white woman right now. So, okay, let's go back to the slavery history. Okay, you never forget this. And maybe sometimes you don't think about this, because I think what it is, I think that black people, when they're not there supervising their children, I think it's somewhere in their mind, if they see a white person, because a lot of black people really view white women as professionals. That's the wrong goddamn thing to assume, okay, about an ungodly ass white woman. Ungodly white women, okay? So I think that because, you know, sometimes white women may appear to be mild-mannered, okay, you know, the manager's white. A lot of times I think black parents are less fearful because she's female. That's another wrong thing to think, okay? If white men shoot black people down, child, adult, old, young, if the white man does that, what makes us think that a white woman is not just as dangerous, if not more dangerous than the white man? I mean, after all, this is usually his wife of choice, right? A white man usually picks a white woman. Even within the world of diversity, most white men marry white women. They just do. So if we go back to history and slavery, part of the reason white people wanted slavery is so they didn't have to do two things all the time. It's two things that white people really preferred not to do or to be lazy with. They didn't want to work and do labor, and it's another thing that they also did not want to do. And it's the reason why white women supported slavery. It's watching kids, y'all. And white men always knew that their kids were safer with African people or the slaves, okay? white men have always known that ungodly white women are not patient with kids. Notice I said patient. Some people just ain't meant to keep kids. And notice I said ungodly white women. And I'm expressing this, and this video ain't about ungodly black women, but as you know, ungodly black women are now murdering their own children. But this video is not about that. So pay attention to this word ungodly. This is a woman that is going to struggle to control her temper. She's going to be very demonic. She's going to be psychopathic. She's going to have anger issues. She may be popping some pills. This type of woman don't even have to be on drugs. See, this woman I'm describing don't even have to be a drug addict. She just has to be a white woman that's ungodly. So this is what it comes down to. Like this case with the property manager that assaults the black kids. I guess 2 weeks prior, she had also assaulted the 11-year-old handsome little black boy. She had assaulted his sister. I couldn't see the sister too well in the video. And like I said, start checking the description to see if I put the link in the description. All you got to do is, when you see the title, click on more, and then just scroll down. It'll be right there. So check the description below. I was on YouTube for a long time before I realized that existed. So I'm trying to do you a favor here so you'll know to check the description below. So I'm looking at this case, and this is what it boils down to: parenting style. Black culture in America, we have this fucked up parenting style. Okay, and I know that it's a fucked up parenting style because I've been judged on mine. After the George Floyd incident happened, if you go further north, where I'm at on the West Coast, and I'm on the West Coast, y'all, I'm not on the South. When the George Floyd thing happened, there was some white men and white people that actually had on like Klansmen clothes, like the Ku Klux Klan clothes, on the freaking freeway, y'all, going north. Okay, not where I'm at, but it was going north. But it's close enough. I ain't that damn far from the north side of the state I'm in, or going north in that direction. It's literally north in that direction. I live south, but that's north. So I didn't go nowhere. I did not let my sons go nowhere without me when that shit was going on. When I heard that it was freaking Klansmen on the West Coast on the fucking freeway with fucking the whole suited up like we goddamn in Mississippi or something, I created what you call a safety plan. There was a lot of racial animosity where I'm at. There was rioting here. I did not let my sons go nowhere near no riot or none of that stuff. My sons were not allowed to hang out with anybody that wanted to go riot. And fortunately, the area I'm in, when the rioters tried to come out here where I'm at, the police put a stop to it. They knew the first place that the rioters were supposed to riot about George Floyd. And the rioters are just tearing up the neighborhood. Our police stopped it. The police somehow found out where the first riot was going to be on the south end where I'm at. And our police force out here was like, what's up? You ain't getting ready to riot. Shit. So I was in an area where we didn't experience rioting. Now, I'm not going to say nobody ever broke a window out or anything like that. I wouldn't know. But I do know that we did not have riots out here as far as I know. And if we did, they were not as big as what was going on the north end. So during that time, and my sons were at least teenagers when that happened. So, I was questioned. People was like, oh, you don't let them go out alone. I would not allow any of my sons to walk around by themselves. I don't give a damn if and I don't have a 30-year-old, but I'm gonna crack this joke. I was so strict with it, y'all. If my black son or indigenous son or African American son, whatever, was 35 fucking years old, you wasn't going out of my house by yourself when I just heard it was some freaking Klansmen on the freaking freeway. And this was real, y'all. This is just how the shit went when the George Floyd thing happened. There was a lot of stuff going on in the workforce and all of that. So in black culture, the reality is there's a cultural aspect. I just told you earlier about the white woman and her role and what she didn't want to be doing and maybe was not even capable of doing. You know, you got something called mental health, y'all. So the white woman, a lot of them were not actually good at keeping kids. They shouldn't be keeping kids. White women have always been very dangerous to all kids. They were the first ones that we publicly knew did not mind killing a fucking child. Okay? So you got to look at the history of this. So with that being said, I don't know what kind of delusion the black race is in when we actually believe just because we see a white property manager that's not my property manager. Like I said, my white property manager wouldn't do no sick shit like that. She's more of our protector, okay? So, see, it's the type of white women, you know, ungodly, irrational white women that don't have logic. Our property manager, she's not filled with racist hate and she just ain't a weirdo like that, okay? However, she comes from a southern state and she's just not like that. So I get it. There's normal white women and there's not so normal. However, overall, there's been a lot of problems, but this is the point I'm getting to, y'all, is how the black culture does things. So with this case, go under world news or to be in the description link and you will see how if you're not easily gaslit, you will notice that it's just all put on the white woman that attacked the boy and poured the soda pop on him and very cruel. I mean, the lady's obviously very cruel and hateful. I'm not discounting that. However, first of all, my kids don't go to swimming pools without me. My children can't even go to swimming pools with somebody. That's why they ain't never been drowned or fucked up like that. So any mom or dad that lets their children go to swimming pools and shit like that without them and don't supervise them is very naive or just ain't about shit. So the parents, you know, after the incident happened, the white property manager lady, and I don't literally mean she's a lady. No, she ain't no lady like that. I mean, but she is a woman. So after she assaulted the kids or whatever, and like I said, she had assaulted the little girl a couple of weeks ago. After she did all of that, they mentioned that the kids ran home to tell their parents. And this happens so much, y'all. It happens so much in these cases. The parents are not actually at work. They're fucking at home. But that ain't where they ass should be. The parents should be at the fucking pool with their black children. That is the best parenting style. And actually, the swimming pool that these two black children were at, they don't even live at that complex. These particular kids actually live at the complex that's across the street. However, they were with a friend that lived at that complex, if that makes sense. So that's not their apartment building swimming pool. So the parents definitely should have been there. They're not even at home. Those kids are at another pool. And that's why white women do the shit that they do. Because the common denominator is this. You got a white woman that's a lunatic that Half the time, them type of white women don't even view your child as human. So why wouldn't you watch your child? Why the child there? You want the child poured with soda pop and drowned and shit. I look at these cases and I'm thinking to myself, the parents lucky the kids ain't drowned. What about that? But it's a cultural black parenting style. I watch my children a lot. I'm not gonna lie. My parenting style is not the kind that I was raised with. I was raised in certain environments, there was no supervision. There was presence. The adults were present, but shit, we was running around doing what the fuck we wanted to do. It's a black cultural parenting style. And what happened, I really thank the Lord that a lot of shit didn't happen to me, but a lot of bad shit did happen. So I could say, just like how I'm going in this no contact with my mama's other daughter. I was just talking about that on a video. So the reason that this stuff happens the way it happens is, even with me having to go into like a no contact with my mama's other daughter, a lot of the shit that she's pissed off about, some of it comes from childhood. I mean, we weren't supervised. Okay? We just weren't. I was kicking ass. Okay, I was being left with a lot of kids that annoyed the shit out of me. My sister being one of them. I'm damn shit 10 fucking years old, keeping all these badass kids, y'all. I remember goddamn I forgot what kind of dog that was. It wasn't a pit bull. I don't know, but there was a lot of narcissistic shit going on. I'm kicking ass. This motherfucking dog kept coming around my grandmother's business. The kids was laughing because the dog was going up under the fence, tearing his goddamn skin off. This is black cultural thing that go outside and play shit. And so I feel like this. I'm going to be honest. I think that if myself and my sister and the other kids would have been parented more like our parents, like really, more supervision. I'm supervising. I don't give a damn that you're 16. Who's at the fucking door? I mean, in action, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes you need to supervise them more when they get older. See, because at 10 and 9, they don't know to get in no trouble if they're kind of mild-mannered. I could remember, when my sons were very young, I would run to the store, come back. I could leave them for a good hour or two. Wasn't nothing they was going to really get into. They was just going to watch their movie. However, once they got to teenage ages or preteens and stuff, that's the danger stage. That's the runaway stage. And if they're running away, you're not watching them. That's not your fault. If you walk in the kitchen and you got a son or daughter that's under peer pressure and they're sheltered and they're used to being supervised, and you go in the kitchen to make a meal or to get something out the refrigerator and the child sneaks out, that's not really your fault. I mean, you can't literally have your eyeball on them every second when they're in the house. I'm mainly referring to outdoor activities. Because I learned with the runaway thing, I go to the refrigerator, my teenager, gone, because their friends kind of promote this activity and stuff. That stage is over in my life. However, I went through it. And, it's good when you have supervised your children, sons and daughters, because they will more likely come back home. I truly believe this. If you got a child that was oftentimes unsupervised, like some of what me and my sister went through. However, in certain other environments, we were supervised. It wasn't at everybody's house, y'all. I just want to point that out. I don't want to make it seem like everybody that was an adult when I was around that was around me when I was younger didn't supervise me. It just was certain environments, like when my grandmother was running her business. However, when I went to other people's homes that were relatives, we were watched. The adults were actually interacting with us, so it went both ways. However, it still was a lot of children that weren't being supervised. So what I noticed, there was a lot of teenage pregnancies, a lot of lesbians coming about. There's a lot of homosexuality. These are the things that were happening because people aren't supervised. A lot of people, they wasn't a homosexual till they went to that special sleepover with them other kids. See, this is part of supervision too, and that's one of the things growing up. My kids, they don't be at people's house staying the night. They just don't. I mean, if they stay in the night, I'm staying with them. So I didn't do all them sleepovers and slumber parties and stuff like that. And as a result, I don't have any homosexuals. None of my sons are homosexuals. So see the benefits of this. But at the end of the day, Black culture needs to develop a better parenting style, a safer parenting style, and a style where they get through their head that they should be watching their kids. Like that 11-year-old and his little sister that got attacked by that property manager. I think that was Montgomery, Alabama, maybe. They mentioned Montgomery, so I'm assuming Alabama. I apologize if I'm wrong. But wherever state it was in. The thing is, they, all through the video, they just totally, there's a lawyer involved, I think. Or, yeah, there's something like that. But I think that, they got to get in their head. They talk all through the video about how horrible the white lady is that abused their son, or abused the child. However, and he was very respectful. He humbled himself. He knew that he shouldn't fight an adult back, or he felt like he shouldn't. I believe different, though. I believe that he's obligated to respect his parents and elders, but a property manager throwing pop on him, I don't think he should have gotten a lot of trouble if he would have slapped the shit out that white lady. I just don't. I think that he made the best move. I think it shows that he was trained right. But if Black children start getting tired of this, that lady shouldn't be throwing pop on him. So I think if his reflex was to slap her white ass because of what she did, oh well, she got slapped. I wouldn't view him as a disrespectful boy just because of that. She should, but I think he made the right move. He did the best thing. He showed good child energy or whatever. But at the end of the day, you could watch that video. I think it's about 15 minutes, and it's going to talk a lot about what the white lady did. However, I'm here to tell you this. What his parents did, they should have been with him and his sister, and they should have been watching him. And none of that probably would have went on. And that's why white people, police officers too, I watch video after video. And the thing is, they don't want to watch us. And they shouldn't have to watch us. They never wanted to watch us. That's why, when I say watch, babysit. They never wanted to babysit. That's why slavery existed. They wanted Black people to watch they freaking kids, because a lot of those ungodly white men and women, white women mainly on this video, they always knew that they weren't good with kids, and they always knew that kids were unsafe around them, and they just weren't interested in kids. And when white women do that, especially to Black children, you got to watch the horrific cases of what white women do to their own kids. They're cruel, y'all, these ungodly white women. However, what you got to understand is a lot of times those type of white women, they don't even think your child's human. If it got any drop of Black blood in it, in the child, not it, but the child. They think it's a animal. No, not even an animal. They don't even think that black children are as as good as an animal, because some of them will treat animals better. So they hate looking at us and stuff. They, you know, those white women are just very hateful, and it keeps happening because black culture needs to improve on their parenting style, and they need to understand that that old play outside in the street, like this is the 1960s or 70s, it's an inappropriate parenting style. It always was. That's why it was so many black men hanging from trees in the South, because those black young men were walking through the woods alone. And that's not safe neither, always walking around by yourself. I've done a lot of work on myself, y'all, to stop that energy. Because I'm one of those people, I like walking around by myself too. But I got to be careful, okay? Because a lot of times you think, oh, well, ain't nobody going to take me, you know, but people come up missing in the United States at all different ages. It doesn't matter. You could be 95. If you live in the United States, you could be snatched, taken, and never seen again. You could come up missing. It doesn't matter your age. So that's the thing. The point of this video is, and this is mainly about this specific case, but if you really love your child and you are African American, black, or indigenous, and you really want to look out for the safety of your kids, you got to change your parenting style. You got to understand you are supposed to actually have that child in your presence. Those two kids shouldn't be at the swimming pool, not even in their own complex, and you at home. And that's the thing, when some go down, the parents are actually at home. The parent was at the wrong location. The parent should have been with the 11-year-old boy. And it's so sad because this little boy at 11 years old that had this soda pop thrown in his face, he's actually kind of like being gaslit by his parents. Because if his parents did not apologize to him and his sister for not being at that pool and expressing that they was wrong to even put him in that white lady's care, because that's what they're doing, then they're teaching him to end up being an unfit ass, narcissistic ass parent. That's what they're doing. And I have a strong suspicion that that's not what they did. And the way I know that is how they did the covering of that. He ain't been apologized to. So he needs to be apologized to by that white lady, some courts that sue her ass, and his mama and daddy or whomever them adults were need to apologize for that handsome little black boy that was 11 years old. He's so humble and sweet. And they need to really apologize to him and reteach him, say, hey, you know, my parenting style in this area was improper, because I would do it. Because, you know, like I told you before, I tested out as an empath, test-wise. That ain't a good thing, y'all. Empaths ain't all about shit. It's a lot of complications to this. However, because I am empathetic, I would take more accountability in that. And I would sit you down. I've done it with my kids. I'm not no perfect mom, y'all. Certain things I've done, I've had to sit my sons down and say, you know what? That ain't right. I'm sorry. I could have did that a better way. Okay? And I wasn't culturally raised like that. They didn't too much apologize to us. If you were a black child, you just put up with it. You know, they don't apologize to you. So usually, if most black kids just were not apologized to. White kids too, in that generation. However, yeah, that basically, that's what needs to happen, because, you know, all the blame is on this white lady that assaulted these kids at the pool cruelly. I know white people be watching the shit like, what the fuck? That ain't our kids. But the kids were put in her care and under her control like they were because their black ass parents was sitting at home on their ass. We gotta change the parenting style. That's the root of it. If more black people start supervising their children instead of expecting the white woman to do it, she wouldn't keep fucking us up like that. So this is just my advice because even though my channel is small, I like to work on fixing or finding, not fixing. Well, it actually fixing it, supervising your kids more and doing proper parenting will fix 99% of it. Finding a solution. That's what I'm trying to do is find a solution that will work out better because there's too much gaslighting and we're just passing down this unfit parenting style from generation to generation. And that's what happened. It's a horrible parenting style. Thinking that other people are supposed to watch your kids. It's a freestyle, narcissistic parenting style that makes it appear as if the parents are very unaware. However, not all of them are unaware. Many of them understand that when their child goes out to play alone, they can be kidnapped, but they don't care. They just don't give a fuck. And that's something that black children, when they grow up, learn later. I can look back on a lot of times, when my grandmother was running her business, and I can actually say she didn't act like she cared much. Definitely, the customers were more important than the kids. Me as a child, I was left as a babysitter. I was left in control. 10 years old, sometimes keeping anywhere from 4 to 6 kids. Maybe more, depending on how many people came over. A child, y'all, 10 years old. And my little cousin, one of my little cousins, he remember, little spankings and stuff, but he needed to be spanked because he was in trouble, by me. I was like 10, but he was in trouble. So I shouldn't have been in that position, y'all. We should have had a legitimate babysitter. And like I said, it wasn't like that at everybody's house. It's just certain times I could remember that was the black culture. And like I said, it led to a lot of things. I mean, I had a boyfriend early. I mean, I'm out there. I didn't always have to come home after school. Once I got to high school, and once my male father died at an early age, right around when I was 13, my father passed away. So at that age, now he had some strict good rules now. There was I like his style. At least my father was like this. At least people had to come to us. Like, at least he made sure we stayed in the house. But hell, even then, because there was a day of no supervision, even when my dad was living, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, you call me bad or whatever, but me and my friends, 2 of my friends, we set my room on fire. Okay, so we were playing with lighters and matches, and we was doing the thing. It's crazy, y'all. I don't even want to tell you what we did. All I know is we was setting body parts on fire, y'all, and getting this kick out of not letting it burn. We had this solution. I'm not gonna say what it was because I don't want no teenager to try this shit and fuck themselves up or injure themselves. However, we setting ourselves on fire. We had a way of doing it where you didn't get burnt. And all of this because, we was playing all kind of music, all Me and my two girlfriends, we was dancing to all the old school music and stuff. I mean, we was just having a good old time, not being watched, y'all. But like I said, at least my dad, after he died, you know, the women was letting us go outside. We could go on the way on the south side with the fire matches and shit. I mean, but at least my dad was like, no, your friends got to come over here. Y'all got to stay in your room. You know, it was more. He was more keeping track of where I was going. But the women in the family, they weren't, you know, as savvy with that. I had a lot of money growing up, y'all. I mean, I didn't want for nothing. I always had money on me. Money was handy. And that's the thing. That was the off balance. It was a lot of money, a lot of neglect. A lot of, you know, they only knew what they knew. They felt like y'all got on clean clothes. You look good. Ain't nobody stinking. Y'all got your hair dialed up. I mean, my grandmother, she spent a lot of money getting my hair done. You know, putting all the straightening chemicals in my hair that I no longer use anymore, y'all. I will do like a blow dry and stuff like that, but I don't use all those relaxers I used to. I haven't had a relaxer in my hair in, shoot, at least almost 15 to 20 years, basically. I would say 17 years, maybe, something like that. It's been very, very long time. So anyway, let's improve on our parenting style. Let's we got to protect the criminal from themselves, which is the ungodly white women that's just not meant to be keeping black kids or white kids. That property manager that poured that pop on that black boy, she don't even need to keep her fucking grandkids. If she got grandkids, we got to protect the white kids from women like this too. These ungodly white women shouldn't be watching white children either. But this video is primarily about this case. Click on the read the description below, click on the link, go to my world news under my playlist, and the video about this case will be there. I love y'all so much. Please like, share, and subscribe, y'all. And yeah, let's get this thing going, y'all. And when I say get it going, I mean let's get a better tactic going, y'all. Let's do better when it comes to the way we do things. And black culture just ain't always the best when it comes to parenting, y'all. When it comes to the supervision of kids, let's get it right. And let's stop these children from being abused. And at the same time, for these ungodly white women, they obviously are not good with kids. Let's make it so they don't have to watch our kids, y'all. Again, I love y'all. Please leave a comment. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.